Listen to my podcast about sports, about sports, about sports. Bop, 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 bop. Howdy, Ags from the tailgate, home of Aggie football. C Money, AP in the house. Today's sponsor, Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractor in the Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your
Light
life.
up your life.
Gotta love it. Folks, don't forget to email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Get on the YouTube. Look up Ags Tailgate. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Leave us some commentary. Let us know what you want to hear, what what you think about what we're saying. If there's a question or a topic that you want us to broach, just let us know. We're always willing to do that. Today's rundown, we're gonna take a look back at Mizzou. We're going to do a little preview of South Carolina. We're going to run through the around college football and the Ags Tailgate SEC Power Rankings. But today we're going to start with my rant of the week, Corey. And my rant this
Well,
week is
I hope
this.
this isn't a new thing.
Things here
But
appear one week and they disappear the next week. You just never know.
yeah,
Uh, it may be the one and only rant of the week ever on the podcast, but here we go. My rant this week is I want to welcome everybody onto the A&M Texas A&M football bandwagon. You know, before the season, y'all doubted me when I said 11-1 or 12-0. You doubted me when I said Heisman run for Marcel. You doubted me when I said this was one of the best offenses in the SEC. Look, Corey, everybody doubted me. You doubted me. Texags doubted me. They were all
yeah,
over 8-4, 9-3 train. Texas was all over the Marcel's has to prove it train. Look, Pate, national guy, out there. No. How about McGee? Ryan McGee, he goes on to, man, that guy up until a couple weeks ago still said that Texas A&M wasn't able to do what they've done so far. Billy Lucci wasn't on the train. Paul Feinbaum wasn't on the bandwagon. Devin Nuno wasn't on the bandwagon. Drew Tamu, SEC Mike, Cousin Shane. All these supposed experts. No faith in the Aggies. No belief in the talent. No belief in the weapons. No belief in the defensive line. Well, here we are. Here we are. Number
yeah.
3 in the country, 9 wins with South Carolina, Samford, and Texas remaining. Marcel is top 4 in the Heisman's odds.
Is he
Top 4
really?
in Heisman odds.
I didn't know that.
Craver is top 15 in receiving yards. KC's top 10 in touchdowns. This is in the country. ABR is a big play machine. Cassius third in the country in sacks. Offense is top 20 in yards and rushing yards. 12th in scoring. Top 10s in sacks allowed. Defense is top 25 in yards. Top 30 in passing yards. Tied for first in sacks. First and third down conversion percentage. This team is doing exactly what I said it was going to do before the season, and I want to welcome everybody onto the freaking bandwagon, baby. Come on here. We got space for all y'all, including you, Corey. Gotcha.
I've been around on the bandwagon. Yeah, you failed to say they lead the nation in penalty yards, long runs given up. There's a lot of stuff they lead the nation in, man. They're doing good.
No, you bring up a good point. So, having said all that, the run defense is going to have to get better to win a natty, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's some of the stats that you were just referring to. 78th in the country in plays of 20 yards or more overall. 91st for plays of 30 yards or more. 73rd in the country in rushing plays of 10 yards or more, with 42 runs of 10 yards or more. 112th in rushing plays of 20 yards or more with 15. Look, the run defense and the big plays in the run game that they're giving up, it was a problem last year. It's been a problem all of this year. It's something that they have to focus in on. We've talked about some of the things that they have to do in order to limit those things. They play better with that safety in the box instead of bringing them, having them deep, right? And they do better because they force things better, right? Their contain is better when they do that. When they've got that safety coming from deep, they usually give up the outside for some reason. Our linebackers and our defensive ends cannot do it on their own, right? They cannot contain the ball that way. In the last three games, these are the last three games. Missouri 207 yards rushing at 6.1 per carry. But specifically their best backs. Roberts, 114 yards on 6.5. Hardy, 114 yards on 8.5 a carry, right? So you can't just talk about Hardy's first run and last run like Olin Buchanan's been trying to spew out there all week this week. Well, if you take off the first run and the last run, then they only gave up, you know what? Look, can't do that. Number one, those are two big plays. And by the way, Roberts, who wasn't a part of the first run and the last run, still averaged 6.5. LSU, who didn't run the ball for much because they don't hand the ball off. Their two top running backs, Barry went for 59 at 6.6 per carry, and Durham went for 37 at 7.2. Hand them the ball a little more often, maybe you'll stay in a game every once in a while. And then Arkansas, Washington goes for 154 at 9.2 a carry, and Green, the quarterback, at 133 at 7.1 carry. That's the last three games. So the run defense has had issues. They continue to have issues. Fortunately for this team, this offense is explosive enough and good enough that it's forcing other teams to try to do things to catch up, right?
Right.
And that's where we've excelled so far, is in the pass defense, getting to the quarterback, creating negative plays in that sense, because those negative plays are what have allowed this defense to get off the field and create that third down percentage. They can go ahead, look, without changing a thing, they can win the next three games,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Hey, let me ask you this. So, with all the deficiencies stopping the run, who is a good running team? Is Ohio State a good running team? I'm talking about if they get in the playoffs or when they get in the playoffs.
Mm.
Ohio State, Indiana. The team that I'm thinking of is like a Texas Tech. They got a good running game this year and a solid defense. I think they
Yeah,
give somebody the Aggies problems.
yeah.
But I'm trying to think who's a good running team. Are Longhorns a good running team?
No, no, no,
Alabama?
no. But Georgia's becoming one for sure. I think
Are
Georgia.
they?
Yeah, yeah. I think they've started to run the football a little bit better in the last few weeks. Uh,
I don't I don't know about that.
you
I mean,
look.
Missouri is the best running team we played to date. And yeah, we gave up yardage, but look at the final score. Oh, it's our backup quarterback. Who gives a shit? Everybody has injuries. They're missing our leading
Listen, I
rusher.
understand that everybody has injuries. There's no question about that. But the fact is, it was their backup quarterback. Let's not sit here and tout this as the greatest win of the century, right? Like, hey,
I'm not
look,
saying it's the
it's,
greatest win. It's
it's
a win, and
good win, good
look at the
win,
final score. It's a dominating win.
good win on the road
Dominating,
in the SEC. I'll
dominating.
don't. I'm not going to take anything away from that.
You
But
sound like you are. It's dominant. I didn't
no,
hear you
no,
say
no.
dominating win yet.
Because everybody keeps making these excuses and reasons why the Aggies need to prove this and prove that. And I always say it, Corey, don't worry about it. Just keep winning. Just keep winning, right? Just keep
I don't
winning.
ever hear you say that. I don't ever hear you say that.
Just
I don't ever hear you say that. It's BS. I always say you don't say shit.
Just keep winning.
Actually, you says a lot of stuff, guys.
I do say
Just
a lot of
rant.
things.
I was
Look,
the one that said this. Go
there
ahead, tell them everything you said. You wanted
there is
fire,
no
elbow, or
reason this team should
fine.
not be better against the run. There is no reason.
They should
Talent
be
is
number one
there,
in the nation against the run. They should be.
right? So
Yeah.
now they've got to do it. And Elko had a great comment this week in the press conference. It's like we got to get better against the run while still being able to bring pressure, while still being able to cover, while still being able to do the other things that they're doing, right? Like you can't
Oh
you
yeah.
can't you can't sit there and take away the run game, but
You got big plays on
start
offense. Yep.
giving up big plays in the passing game, right? That doesn't help you. Or stop putting pressure on quarterbacks, right? That doesn't help you, right? So like he said, it's a bounty. You don't have you and I agree with the fact that you don't want to sell out all the way against the run, but I do think that they have some things that they can do to be better, right? That what you look, Sanford played a good game this past weekend. We'll talk some more about that, but Sanford played that very first play on that run by Hardy. He goes inside, and
Yeah.
him and Searcy both go inside is the problem. One of them was responsible for being out there, and they overran it. The other one was fine, but not both. One or the other, right? And so that's where you get yourself into trouble. It's just little things, especially with when you're moving things a lot, making sure you're staying gaps down. Having said all that, look, man, this team is right where it needs to be today, right?
I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better, could you? I mean, what could they would be better against the run? Yeah, okay, I'll take it. They're undefeated, number three in the nation. I think they should be number two in the nation, actually. But that's me.
Maybe. And look, and you said it
I'm
like
not even sure how good Ohio State is, to be honest with you. I think they're good, but I think a lot of the teams they play suck.
that's true. What I will tell you about Ohio State is they got two wide receivers that can absolutely dominate you, right? They got two guys that can make people look foolish on the outside. And that's what they're laying, putting their foundation behind on that offense, right? They don't. That's why they don't run the football. Well, one, they've two running backs went in the first couple of rounds of the NFL draft last year, and two, along with a couple of their offensive linemen, and two, they've got these weapons, right? They got these weapons that just absolutely annihilate people, and people can't cover. So, you know, that's what it
That's
is.
right.
But look, end of the day, we are right where we need to be. And you're right. I agree with you in the sense that I don't know that there's a team that I wouldn't say we can compete with. But let's go play Ohio State. Let's go play Indiana. Let's go play Georgia. Let's go play Alabama. I think we can beat these teams. I think
Yeah.
we can beat with these teams. And now you got to go do it. You're gonna get it. Look, you you can't you can't lose the Texas. I don't know that you can lose to Texas and make the SEC championship game.
Nope. I don't know. It'd be tough.
I don't because
So it depends. You still got a couple weeks left before you say that. You got to wait till see what happens this week and next week.
I'll tell you
Because
this:
Georgia and Texas play this week, right?
if Texas beats Georgia, you cannot, and I'm telling you, this is a fact. You cannot lose to Texas and make the SEC championship game.
Who does Alabama have left?
Alabama has Oklahoma and Auburn.
If they lose one of those, why can't they still make it?
Yeah, but um, then you still have Ole Miss. You still
Well,
have
they're
Ole
not going to lose
Miss,
another game. They're
huh?
not going to lose another game. Ole Miss ain't going to lose another game. They don't
No,
have
they're not going
anybody.
to lose them. They play Kentucky and Mississippi State.
But we can lose the South Carolina game and still make it.
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could.
I'm a little bit more nervous about South Carolina than what people are talking about. They're talking about Texas already.
So before we get to North South Carolina, let's talk a little bit about let's finish up on Missouri real quick.
Uh,
We don't have to sit here and spend a ton of time on this game. Look, Aggies beat Missouri 38 to 17. Like you said, it's a dominating win. Once again, before the game, what did I tell you was going to happen for the score for the Aggies? They were going to score more on Missouri than anybody else has this year. Did they do that?
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because this is the best offense in the SEC. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you.
yeah.
Offense
Well, I
comes
mean,
out.
it made it easy. It made it easier on A&M when your backup quarterback from Missouri is giving them the ball in the last minute of the first half. Because I mean,
For sure. For
I mean,
sure.
I think if Missouri had their starting quarterback, it would have been a totally different game because that guy was mobile. I enjoyed watching.
I
What's his name?
swear to
Priscilla.
God, you just said the exact opposite 5 minutes ago, but go ahead.
What?
I'm pretty sure you
What?
just said the exact opposite of 5 minutes ago.
If they had their starting quarterback, yeah. I say, but who cares if they had their backup? It's still a game. We had
Okay.
our backup players playing, but I mean, people don't give you credit for the win. I'd love to see Missouri play A&M with their starting quarterback. I thought this was the one team, the one game that made me nervous.
No, I agree. And
Plus
look,
that quarterback.
and don't take away from that Missouri defense. That Missouri defense is very good, man. They came out and they caused some problems for A&M's offense right off the bat, and and you sit in here and you watch that and it's like they didn't go deep at all, right? Everything in the passing game was in the 10-yard radius. It was within 10 yards. I think two passes that were past 10 yards in the air. See what I'm saying? Everything was
Yeah.
within 10 yards. But if you go look at what they were doing, a lot of the game, they were sitting there with those corners, those safeties deep, and those corners backing up all day, right? So what'd they do? Quick screens to those wide receivers, and they kept getting yards and yards and yards and yards, man. They were churning, right? So it makes sense that they were doing that. I think where they missed an opportunity is a couple of times when Missouri did bring some guys up and got the safeties in the box, and they didn't go try to hit it deep at that time. I thought they had a couple of chances to go try to attack the deep part of the field, and they didn't take it. Didn't need to, by the way. Clearly, they didn't need to,
Yep.
right?
I agree.
But that Missouri defense, man, caused some issues early on, man. Slow start. Um, and the first two drives didn't really do a lot, and then the passing game got going with those quick hitters out to KC, quick hitter out to Mario, quick hitters, tight ends in the middle of the field. They were just kind of boom, 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 and those guys they were letting the playmakers kind of go out and do it, and then all of a sudden, boom, we get that touchdown drive, right? That's what got that ball into the end zone. Got a little bit of the running game going as well. I mean, they hit the tailback out of the backfield on that one in the red zone, right? I think it was Owens. So they were doing some things there that allowed them to take care of that, but they weren't really explosive until that second half play to KC, right? And boy, oh boy, that dude that dude will make you wonder, what the hell just happened here? You know what I mean?
I'm surprised he's not in the Heisman conversation. I thought he's had a great season. I mean, I'm telling you, catching the ball, punt returns, kick returns, you name it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the problem is that for a receiver to have that kind of a deal, I think
You need a better quarterback. Is that what
you
you're
need
saying?
to well, you need to
I mean,
you,
I don't know. I'm trying
your
to figure
numbers
out.
numbers have to be pretty huge, right? And I think he's got, I don't know, 600 yards, and actually I could probably pull it up real quick. I mean, he's
What is
got
he compared to that
629
guy Lewis? What are his numbers compared to Lewis at Ohio State?
he's got 629 yards. Smith at Ohio State has almost a
Yeah,
thousand.
but
Um,
yeah. What are
Matter
the
of fact,
difference
he's
in
the second leading
attempts?
receiver on this A&M team because Craver's got 700 and change. Uh,
Well, I'm just saying, what's his average? I mean, where are his targets? I mean, if you get that many targets as Smith does, I mean, what does he get? 20
Yeah, for
targets a
sure.
game?
But that's my point is you have to have the numbers to get to that point. And KC, he's got good numbers, man. He does have good numbers, but
You're saying Marcel's holding them back?
I'm saying that this team, the way that they operate, and Elko talked about it, is we're gonna play winning football. And what does that mean? It means that when we get into the fourth quarter with a lead, we're gonna hand the ball off. And you know what they did those last two touchdown drives? All but one play were on the ground. That is domination nation, baby, because you've worn down that defensive front and you're letting your offensive line just eat, man. And that is
They really
good
did.
winning
God,
football.
they really did that. I'll tell you what. I mean, Owen started. You see, Owen started hitting the big holes and big chunk plays. Oh man, it was pretty good. I mean, we could have scored another touchdown there in the last minute or two. We just started kneeling it out.
Yeah, they nailed it out there in the last drive, right? I mean, so look, this team started wore that Missouri offense defense down up front. They were good in the first half, man. They were good in the first half. But in the second half, it just it was too much, right? Like just beating on them. The offensive line just started to and that's without Armaj Reed Adams, who didn't play another snap after the first quarter.
Why?
He was hurt. Some they didn't tell us what. They haven't told us what and Elko says he's fine. Now, but he didn't play a snap after the first quarter. They moved
Yeah.
they moved Trey Zune into center. They put Fathery out at left tackle, and they moved Naboo out to the right guard. And here they go. And I'll tell you, I like that offensive line. I think I would like it even better if Reed Adams was in there for Naboo. So that group absolutely did its job. Only allowed one sack. Mind you, this is a Missouri defensive line that gets a lot of pressure on quarterback, gets a lot of sacks, two big time defensive ends, right? Like that's pretty impressive. That throughout the day that's what they do. The tight ends, another good day in the blocking, another good day catching a few balls there. Just keeping things giving Marcel options, right? And they didn't do anything exotic, by the way. They didn't, other than a fake punt. But they didn't do anything exotic other than that, right? I mean, it was all just like methodical. You know what I mean?
Oh
Methodical.
yeah. I'm looking at the game stats here. The Aggies have got to be one of the top teams in the nation on third down efficiency. You know what I'm saying on defense? I mean,
Offensively,
defensively, because if we don't, I mean, we got
hey,
five first downs.
you didn't hear me earlier, right? They are number one
Number one,
on defensive third down efficiency. Yeah.
it's awesome. I mean, that right there. What are they doing different? Just bringing the pressure, making the quarterback get rid of the ball. The defensive backs are
Well,
covering them. I mean,
yeah. The other thing is that they're doing their job on first and second down a lot of times, so that it's third down and long most times, right? And so therefore, it's yeah. Then they can pin their ears back a little bit and do those things. Um, so I mean, Corey, you tell me, Missouri probably the best defense we faced this year, or no? Are you going to give it to Auburn's the team we scored the least on, right?
well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Auburn, but that game was just Auburn was so lucky in that game in so many ways. I mean, we outgained Auburn. What did we say about a ton?
Oh yeah, and it was penalties, and it was mistake. Just you're right. I mean, I thought Auburn was pretty good, but I don't know, man. I was really impressed with Missouri and the way they played. I thought that Missouri's offense didn't really give it much of a chance because they weren't on the field long, and so eventually that defense did wear down. But if the way I saw it, especially early on in that game when they were their full go, I thought they were probably the best offense, the best defense we've seen. Right.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, they were good against the run. I'll tell you that much. I think we did wear them down. I think we're going to do that to a lot of teams. I think the strength of this team and Marcel and the wide receivers, the weapons are great, but that offensive line is just. I mean, if I don't understand why they're not being touted more, like guys getting drafted. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
we should be. We you might have 4 or 5 guys on this line, maybe six that go to the pros. I mean, I was thinking Basantis, Zune, um, Fathery might
Look,
if he keeps
that,
playing well.
absolutely. I thought you go look at how Father played, how Crownover played at the tackle
Yeah,
spots. I think they played
Brownover, I forgot about him.
Zune playing at center and at tackle. I think he's definitely going to get drafted this year. And Reed
Oh, his
Adams,
stock's got to be going up.
and Basantis is starting to catch a lot of hype on his side about guys, interior offensive linemen in this draft potentially. He could come back for one more year, mind you, Basantis.
What
Um,
about Reed? Did you say Reed Adams?
yeah, he's this is his last year, so
Yeah,
he's gonna get in there and he'll get drafted. Now, I think that there's been, I don't know, that draft process, man, and people go up and down and all of a sudden whatever. He had a lot of hype going preseason
who
for
did?
like he was like one of the highest, if not the highest rated guard going into the season. And I
Reed
don't know,
Adams or
Reed
who are you
Adams.
talking about? Okay.
And I don't know that I think now he's moved a little bit down that line, but he's played well. He still played well. He's
Right.
got some injuries. He's I think he's been banged up most of the season, so there's a little bit of that going on. But you're right. This offensive line has got to be getting this credit, right? You want to talk about a group that has, you know, outperformed whatever the expectations were. I think this
Yeah.
group, in spite of the high expectations, has outperformed that. I think they're the best offensive line in the country, to be honest with you. Best offensive line in the country.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hands down, no doubt. Especially, I mean, we're not just talking SEC. You said country, right?
Country.
Bold statement. Yeah, I mean, I think we might be.
Yeah, no, they have been, that's the group that has allowed us to do what we've been doing offensively, right? With just what seems like ease without really even getting into like trick plays or different things of that nature, right? It just seems like it's easy. And every week, we're the highest scoring team this other team's ever faced, right? Like all year long, every week. And it's like, oh, are we going to score 40? Oh, we're going to score 30. And then they end up scoring 40, right? It's insane. And it's because of this offensive line. Moving over to the defensive side, look, you talked about it, right? Matt Zollers, he had no idea what he was getting himself into. That poor kid as a freshman, they threw him out there and they threw him to the Wolves. They didn't have a choice. Only 2 sacks on the game for the Aggies, but pressure all freaking day. I mean, he was never comfortable, right, Corey?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I got somebody bringing me something. Damn.
Two fumbles, two fumbles caused by this defense, 7 tackles for loss. We talked about the 2 sacks.
Thanks.
I thought this for Missouri to win, they had to run the ball 40, more than 40 times. I said that before the last week, right? They've got to run the ball more than 40 times. They didn't. They
How many
didn't.
times are they running?
34 carries. 34 carries. I truly believe that they 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 a couple of times they went
I see what you're saying. If they would
they,
have ran the ball 6 more times, that game's going the other way.
there's a lot of things that go with that though, Corey, right?
I don't think so.
I thought there were several times, first drive, big run, right? First play, big run, 40 yards. The two out of the next three plays, first, second, third down, two out of those plays, they throw the ball and then they punt, right?
Yeah,
Second
good.
drive, second drive, they throw the ball twice out of 3 times, punt.
But hey, Alejo, you know what they're trying to do? They got a young quarterback starting his first game, trying to get him in the game early while it's work close. The guy only completed 7 passes the whole game.
Yeah,
7.
but that to me is the whole thing. You as an offensive coordinator, you're sitting there and you're like, oh, let's throw the football. Why? 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 That guy doesn't need. Listen,
Hey, chicks dig the long ball, man. That's why.
yeah, but winning football is getting first downs, baby. And the touchdown drive that they had, by the way, all running except for 2 plays. Like, I mean, I don't understand why you move with the talent that they've got in the backfield, with what their offensive line has been able to do in the run game, with the fact that their quarterback is inexperienced and starting his very first game in as a freshman. Why do you try to force the pass as much? I thought they helped us out in that sense, but listen, they weren't going to win this game either way. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't going to get them to a win, but I think they could have made it more competitive.
Yeah,
They gave us a break.
I agree. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I think that they keep running the ball. Yeah, but I mean, even if I don't understand why we didn't put more guys in the box anyway. I don't understand why we gave up those big a chunk. We knew this coming to the game. We talked
Yeah.
about that. The only chance Missouri has is to run the ball. A&M has to put 8 guys up there, man up on the.
We've been saying,
Why is
right?
that not being done? Why we knew they were going to run the ball? Why couldn't we stop it? That makes me nervous.
Not only did we know they were going to run the ball, we knew they were going to run the stretch, right? We knew they were going to run the outside zone specifically, right? And
Yeah,
so why are and we talked about it. The best what we've been doing with the outside and to stop the outside run and contain that is just have the safety in there, right? Safety down in the box. He didn't have to be on the line of scrimmage, but he's got to be down in the box area. And now he can go play, right? And be that contained guy. And so you know, that continues to be a thing for this defense and something that they don't do a lot of. So, like, one of the things that Missouri hit us on was into the short side of the field because we won't bring our safety down into that short side of the field. He's back. And now they ran into the outside on that side, and we didn't have that extra contain, and they got us a couple times. But once again, it's a win. It's a dominant.
gotcha.
Right? Look, another one is I said Brooks would be our defensive player of the game. Pretty good. Tied for the the team lead in tackles. Recovered a fumble and returned to the 2 yard line. And then he had a fake punt. He ran it for 40 whatever number of yards, right?
Pretty good. Pretty
Pretty
good
good
game.
game. Nice, nice. So look, that win was huge because it got us, we because of Samford remaining on the schedule, it got us to 10, right? It got us to 10. Something this program hadn't done in a long time, right?
All right.
Now we've got South Carolina. Now we got them at home on ESPN, but buddy, it's an 11 a.m. start. We haven't
Love
had
it.
an 11 a.m. start in a while.
Love it.
Look, I'm like you said earlier, I'm almost more worried about South Carolina than I am about Texas. Look, they're 3-6 and 1-6 in the SEC. They've lost four straight and 6 out of 7. None of those numbers make you worry about South Carolina, but this is
Yeah.
what worries me. And that South Carolina offense has been disastrous all year, 19.7 points per game, 120th in the country. They have a new
Right.
offensive coordinator. They had a new offensive coordinator for the last 2 weeks on a bye, right? They had a bye before this game.
Yeah.
And so they've been scheming over there for the 2 weeks to face this A&M defense, this A&M defense, and
Yeah.
try to change things up. And by the way, they still have two of the best athletes on the planet on that offense, right? With Sellers and Harbor. I mean, Nick Harbor is a 6'5" wide receiver that's 220 pounds and probably runs,
35. 235.
huh?
235.
235 and runs a 4.340.
He's
You know,
about like me then. He's almost like me. A little bit taller than I am.
a little taller. Yeah. No, I mean,
Not quite
one of
as
the best
fast.
athletes on the planet. And sure, he's only got 300 receiving yards on the season, but let me tell you,
401.
huh?
He's got 401.
There you go,
Looking at
400.
it right now.
But let me tell
Sorry.
you, man, the dude is a physical specimen and he can hurt you. And then there's Lenora Sellers, who,
Yeah.
by the way, last year made this defense look like a bunch of chumps. Chumps. You hear me?
Yeah.
chumps, Lenora Sellers, under this new offensive coordinator. Can they do enough? Can they do enough to switch things up to get him loose this year? To get him loose because he hadn't been loose all year long. What do you think?
Unless they brought in a new offensive line coach and a new offensive line, I think they're gonna have problems. But every time I watch South Carolina, Lenore Sellers is on his back or running for his life because it's not him or Harbor. It's the damn offensive line can't protect for nothing. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
they've
watched.
allowed 34 sacks on the season, which is 131st in the country. That's third worst in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful just to watch the guy. You're like, the team should be better, and you're like, what's wrong with them? And it's in the trenches. It's right there. They're losing. They can't run the ball. They can't protect him. They can't. I mean, he's running for his life. Most of these points they've scored have been Lenore evading havoc and getting rid of it. He's going to do it against the Aggies. Know this? They're going to bring pressure all day.
Yeah. Here's where I worry, right? Because under this old offense coordinator, man, you could see that they weren't doing a lot of things to try to get him loose, man. They were trying to basically make him into a pocket passer type of quarterback, right? And like now you get a new mind back there, new play caller back there, somebody that's going to change things up. And maybe his entire goal is let's let's get Lenoris out in space, right? Maybe a little bit more play action, loop and booting her out. Maybe some more sprint out type throws. Maybe some more draws, quarterback draws, and things that they weren't doing as much of before. I mean, because that's the last thing I want to see. Hey, listen, I know our run defense sucks, but hand it to that running back 30 times in the game, and I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Just
Right?
don't let the Norris go off. That's
Don't let it happen.
if you're this Aggie defense, the only thing you need to do
Yep.
is contain Lenore Sellers. That is job one, job two, job three, job four. Right?
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah,
But
I'm spying them. I'm gonna
with
hey listen,
who? Who are you spying with? Scooby? Sanford? Chappelle? Who?
ooh man.
Brooks?
I mean, I
The
I don't
guy, the guy's
I don't know
6'3",
if
two hundred
Scooby.
and
I don't
forty
know. I don't
pounds.
think Scooby's going to be available. By the way,
Well,
I
what's
may
wrong with Scooby
spy.
now?
I may have two spies. To be honest with you, but
You're that worried, huh?
you know who I might spy him with is Brooks.
Gosh, man, Brooks. The only problem I have with Brooks is, I mean, not the only, but I have a couple problems. His tackling, he hadn't been wrapping up well. Sellers
I
is
think he's
six
gotten
three,
better
two
as the
forty.
season's gone along. I think he's gotten better as the season's gone along.
Well, he couldn't get any worse. He had to get better. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I mean, what's wrong with Chappelle? Chappelle, I mean, I know it's weird to have a slot guy covering him, but
I
fine.
think Chappelle does such a good job in coverage with those with whoever that slot receiver is. I don't think you take him out of that. I think that you have a guy in Brooks, maybe Ratcliffe, right? It could be Ratcliffe.
Maybe.
Um, but I think it's got to be one of those safeties because I don't know that your linebackers are athletic enough to stay with Sellers.
That's what I was worried about. I don't think they had the speed to
It
and the
surely isn't
quickness.
York. It surely isn't
No,
York, right?
no, no.
Um, but maybe Sanford can do it some. Um, but I'd almost say I want one of those safeties down in the box to spy him. I maybe bring in a third safety then. you know, where's uh where's is Anderson healthy? You know,
Is he? I was about to
supposedly
ask if you knew anything on the
supposedly
injury front. What's up with Anderson or
supposedly,
anybody?
but he hadn't been
What's up?
playing
What's the
much.
update on Moss? What's the update on Moss?
Or Kerr. Moss is still a couple of weeks out. Maybe for
He is?
Texas. Yeah, maybe for
Okay.
Texas. Um,
What other injuries do we have? We don't have that many. Is that all we have? Is three? We got more than that.
it
Reed
ain't,
Adams.
no, it ain't a lot.
Reed Adams. I mean, last year, the last couple of years, it's been like a list.
Yeah. So that's my point though. They do scare me in that sense, man. But overall, that I just think that the talent for A&M is gonna overcome that. And I also think let's switching over to A&M's offense. By the way, who do you think is the player of the game for this defense this week?
Coming up against South Carolina,
Yeah,
it's going to be one of the D linemen that's going to get a big day. I mean, Cassius has had big days, but it's going to be somebody that we're not thinking of, like Hayes or Kennedy. Somebody's going to have another couple sack games. It's going to be huge.
but
Maybe
I'm gonna take
Sanford.
the low hanging fruit and say Cassius Howe. I'm gonna go
I
ahead and
didn't
say
want to say that. It's like the obvious choice, you know?
we'll go ahead and say Cassius has 3 sacks. How about that? I'll step it up.
Three.
Yeah,
How many you have last? How many you have against Missouri?
one,
Wow. What the hell? Why do you even play?
three. Uh, but then you go look at this South Carolina defense, and man, they can't stop the run either, right? They can't stop the
Yeah.
run. They don't really put a ton of. They don't do a lot of pressure either. That their biggest sort of strength is causing turnovers, pretty much, right? And so
Getting lucky.
like for this Aggie offense, I think the key here is control the ball, right? Like
Yeah.
don't turn the ball over,
Right.
which we haven't done anyway, and run the football. I think this game is going to be won on the ground. I think the Aggies are going to control this game in the run game. They're going to be able to basically do what they want to do offensively, and I think that covers up for any issues the defense may have with Sellers if there are some changes on that side of the ball for them. At the end of the day, I think it's too much, right? I think the Aggies are too much for this team. I don't think South Carolina can stop this offense, and then they won't be able to score with them. So I think, by the way, player of the game offensively, I think it's Owens. I think Owens goes for 120 and a couple of tutties.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
All right. What's the weather going to be?
You
It's
know, I
cold right
didn't check
now.
the weather.
It's cold right now. I'll tell you that much.
It is,
Yeah, it's been chill. I mean, when I say cold, it's not
but
like we're up
Saturday, no,
north.
actually, but Saturday it'll be warmer. Yeah,
It better be. I hope it's no rain. But hey, if I had a score prediction, my player of the game is going to be Casey. I totally disagree with everything you just said because I think you're an idiot. But I
uh,
think Casey's going to have a huge game. Travers going to have a big game. Marcel's going to have a big game. My player of the game is going to be KC. Aggies win this. They might break 50. They're going to give up a lot of big plays because South Carolina's going to have the ball. They're going to be three and out, or it's going to be a touchdown. See how that's what South Carolina does. I don't know if you watch them. It's a big play or bust.
42-14. Boom.
I say 51 to 24. It's going to be a high score, and I'm taking the over.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like it. I love it, man. I love it. Look, yeah, the beautiful part about this is that this game sets it up, right? This
For
game
Sanford.
sets it up.
Sanford, baby.
Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday in Austin. I mean,
What time's that game?
whoo!
What time's the Longhorn Aggie game?
I don't know.
I might have to make a trip down there.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Get everybody on the bus, huh?
Get him on the
We
bus.
got room. We got room.
Get on the bandwagon, baby. I'm taking people on. Let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I'm not sure what you mean, but I hear you.
I like it tight. Come on in.
Make it tight. Get in there.
Hey, around the SEC, look,
Let's hear it.
Bama beats LSU 20-9. LSU couldn't do anything on offense. Bama
They
can't
suck.
run the football. I I wasn't impressed with either side. How about you?
No. God, I mean, they made LSU's defense look good. You know that? I mean, we
Kind of
played them
insane.
before. Didn't we just play them like the week or two before that? 2 weeks
Yep,
before
yep,
that?
yep.
At
Uh,
LSU.
yeah.
This game was in Alabama. That's
This was in Alabama.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
Georgia dominates Mississippi State 41-21. Look, I
did
think
not.
Better Stockton's starting to look a little bit better week by week, man. What Georgia's doing out there, they're getting the run game going because of it as well. I mean, you're seeing Noah Thomas getting involved in the offense a little bit nowadays, and their their defense still isn't what it used to be, by the way. But this
Yeah,
offense is starting to generate some things. I kind of like what that Georgia offense is doing.
gotcha.
Uh, Ole Miss 49-0 over Citadel.
Oh, love it. That's gonna be Sanford.
Not a lot to say there. Vandy with a comeback win over Auburn in overtime. Auburn scores more points against Vandy than they had all SEC schedule combined, right?
Well, I'll come down just like Kentucky.
Look, that's false, but basically it's almost true because I mean they hadn't done anything offensively
Nothing.
throughout the SEC slate, and I mean that was a hell of a game. I mean Daniels throws for 353 for Auburn. Two different wide receivers, both Singleton and Coleman, go over 100 yards. They had 210 rushing yards, and they still lost because Pavia just absolutely dominates for Vanderbilt. But who would have known that Auburn's defense was going to be the problem now that the defensive coordinator has become the head coach? Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
In the upset of the day, Kentucky absolutely steamrolls Florida 38-7.
that was our feel good pick of the day too, man. Good job. Go
Boy,
Kentucky.
I'm telling you, Lagway looked like trash. Whatever's
Yeah.
going on over there in Gainesville, they need to stop it right now. If they have to fire the interim coach, they should, whatever. Look, he looked garbage, three interceptions. The D gave up 233 yards on the ground. That team is quit. That team is quit. So they better figure something out, right? They better figure.
Why is nobody talking about Stoops going to another job? Nobody wants Stoops?
No, nobody wants Mark Stoops.
Why?
Uh,
A&M wanted him for a minute
this is his second SEC win this year. That's why.
at Kentucky. They don't you hear anybody saying, "Oh, he's getting fired." Oh, they don't give a shit. It's Kentucky.
They were saying just a couple of weeks ago before he's won these two games, oh, Mark Stoops is getting fired. They were saying that.
Put some money in the program.
I believe every Aggie fan said, no, don't hire Mark Stoops.
They
Every
did, but I'm just saying, I mean, their answer to their season was let's go pay Zach Calzada a bunch of money.
who
That's
made that decision? Probably Mark
yeah,
Stoops.
Zach Calzada. Mr. Is he the one that was counting you said on the video? Jesus, what an idiot.
Uh, so SEC teams that continue in the playoffs, no change really. Same ones. Nobody lost last week that took them out of contention. I mean, Texas, Oklahoma were both on byes, and then you got wins by A&M, Bama, and Georgia, and Ole Miss and Vandy. So it's kind of the same group there. I mean, Vandy, man, Vandy now sits. They got Kentucky and at Tennessee, and they're a 10-win team in the SEC, probably in the playoffs, right?
Who?
Vanderbilt.
Ah, they're not going to beat Tennessee at Tennessee, I don't think.
You don't think?
After watching Kentucky last week, I'm not even sure they beat Kentucky. Stoops, I mean, he might be up for Coach of the Year right now. He's just turned that program all around.
um, I feel like they're gonna beat Kentucky, and I think they're gonna give Tennessee a run, so they could make it. Oklahoma's got to beat Bama this week. That's a tall task, I think. And then they would have Mizzou and LSU at home. Both are difficult as well. I don't know. I don't know if Oklahoma's gonna get in there. Texas got Georgia, Arkansas, and us. They're probably out. But Ole Miss, all they got is Florida, Mississippi State. Florida might be the worst team in the country right now after that performance. And Mississippi State, I mean, it's a rivalry, I guess. That's about all I can say. I mean, these teams are all gonna make it, right? Georgia's got Texas. They're not. I don't think they're gonna lose to Texas at home, and then they're done in the SEC, right? That's it.
You know what really pisses me off? I look at these teams you're talking about. We haven't played any of them.
We haven't played any of them. That's all true.
there's 6 teams vying to get into the thing. We haven't played a damn one of them.
But we
We
will
got
play
to play
Texas.
one at Texas, and they'll probably be out of it this weekend because they're going to lose to Georgia.
That's
Then they
true.
might lose to Arkansas because Texas does that. They lost to Florida. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
we haven't played Bama, Georgia,
But
Ole Miss,
that's
Oklahoma, or
okay.
Vandy.
Go undefeated, get into the SEC title game, and then you can face whoever the other team is on the other side, and then you get your wish, right?
I guess.
Tailgate SEC power rankings. Who's number one? Aggies,
Well,
baby. There's no question. That's an easy call. I've got Georgia at two. I was impressed with what Stockton did this past week. I like how their offense is developing.
against
Moved up.
Mississippi State, you think Mississippi State's that good?
No, 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 by no means. By no means. But once again, you know, I I I think they've gotten better, right? I think they've gotten better.
Oh,
Georgia.
I thought you were talking about Mississippi State. I was like,
No, no. Offensively, I believe Georgia's gotten better, and I think that that puts them in contention with, and then what I saw from Alabama, I just didn't see a team that really threatens, right? I'm not that impressed with that group, and that's why I moved them down to four. I got Ole Miss at three because I think Chambliss is an absolute monster,
hey,
right?
who won the Oklahoma Texas game?
Texas did.
Well, how is Oklahoma ahead of them in your power rankings?
I've got
Miss,
Oklahoma at six and Texas at seven. Let me tell you why. Texas
yeah,
was
tell me.
coming into that game. Texas was coming into that game, and Oklahoma's quarterback had been sitting out for a couple of weeks, right? So
Right.
they had an injured quarterback basically playing that game. He wasn't up to par. I'm just giving him. Texas turned around and lost to Florida. All right, Texas
Yeah.
lost to Florida. So I'm just saying, who's got the worst
No,
loss?
Texas beat Oklahoma. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. If you beat them
Sure,
head to head, you don't fall behind them.
sure, yeah, you do.
No,
You do in this
no,
case. You do in this case because your quarterback was hurt.
no. I don't care. He played.
I got Oklahoma at five, Texas at six,
Everybody
Vandy at
hurt.
seven. Maybe Vandy deserves to be a little higher. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably lose out. They'll probably like coach is gone anyway.
Tennessee's at eight. Missouri at nine. I dropped Missouri to nine with the loss there. Auburn up to 10. I liked Auburn with what they did with the new coach. Maybe they're going to go out and try to, make have some upsets here at the end of the year. Maybe Alabama. Kentucky at 11 after that big win over Florida. I mean, they just dominated with their new quarterback after they benched Calzada there. Mississippi State at 12, 13 LSU, 14 South Carolina, 15 Arkansas, and Florida 16 now because they look like they quit.
Yeah, it's crazy. You look at the Florida, Arkansas, and South Carolina, and LSU. You got 4 quarterbacks that might be some of the best supposedly going into the season. Sellers are talking about being one of the top picks in the draft. Green got talent for days. Nessmeyer is supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks.
And
Who
Lagway.
am I forgetting?
Lagway, who a lot of people picked as
Wade.
the number one
Just
quarterback in the SEC.
yeah, I'm just saying. And then you got guys like A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Bama. I mean, who was talking about these quarterbacks coming in? Nobody was talking about Marcel at the beginning of the season.
But that goes to show
Nobody
you
talking
also.
about
That
Gunnar
goes to show
Stockton
you
being.
also. These doggone experts out there that talk about, oh, you need a quarterback to win everything. You need a quarterback, and it's all about the quarterback. They're full of shit. First of all, look,
Yeah,
you gotta have a team. You gotta have a team around a quarterback, right? And that's what we have. We've got players around Marcel. We've got an offensive line around Marcel. We've got weapons around Marcel. That's how you make a team, right? And that's what these other quarterbacks who are sitting over there getting their ass kicked every week, they don't have, right?
yep.
This past week around the country, USC beats Northwestern 38-17. They had a they had a fake punt. They put the third string quarterback Sam Heward, former five
Yeah.
star son of Damon Heward, by the way, in number 80, which is the punter's number, and they ran him out there instead of the punter and threw a fake punt and threw the ball. So pretty.
How is that illegal? How is that illegal play?
The Big Ten is starting to say that maybe it was an illegal play.
It just doesn't sound right.
Well, technically, they made the change on the roster before the game, right?
I just
So
something doesn't sound. Something sounds fishy.
he said He, I think they said he's been number 80 for the last 3 weeks on the roster. So, I don't know. But they
Oh,
didn't change it on the online roster. Anyway, so look, probably the funnest game of the week. Indiana needs last second touchdown catch to beat Penn State.
yeah.
Look, the Penn State defense played really well against Indiana. I'm telling you right now, everybody's giving that quarterback at Indiana all the credit in the world, yada yada yada. Dude, that wide receiver deserves the credit, man. That ball, that catch and getting
Oh,
his
that
feet
toe.
in
How did he get his toes in?
while getting look, he had to go up and get that, and the
Yeah.
defender's pushing him out, and he's
How did he get a
literally
toe in?
looking down at the ground, making sure that he's tapping that toe.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I don't know how he got him in.
Insane. Texas Tech dominates BYU 29-7, basically showing everybody who the best team in the Big 12 is. Uh, Oregon beats Iowa on a last second. Look, Texas Tech, by the way, looks legitimate, right? They do look legitimate. They're one loss, by the way, without their starting quarterback. They're one loss without their
To
starting.
who?
Huh?
Who did they lose to?
I believe it was Arizona State.
Okay.
Um, Oregon beats Iowa on a last second field goal.
Yeah, God bless America. I wanted Oregon to lose that game so bad. I don't know why. I just wanted them to lose.
They couldn't do anything in the passing game against that Iowa defense. Iowa, I mean, they deserved to win that game. They just couldn't pull it off. Notre Dame, another big win for the Aggies on that one, dominates Navy 49-10. Washington loses to Wisconsin to give them the first Big Ten win for Wisconsin. Washington gets wiped out of the freaking college football playoffs. Also loses a parlay for us. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, you're not going to say how Wisconsin won the game? How many times they throw the ball and stuff like that? What did you tell me the other day? They threw the ball like 3 times or something crazy, 3 yards. The stats were ridiculous in that game.
it, it was insane. It was insane. And they still won. And they still won.
Yeah.
And here is the ACC portion of this broadcast, by the way.
Oh God, the ACC
Virginia, who
sucks.
was number one in the ACC, loses to Wake 16-9. Louisville, who was up there, loses to Cal 29-6. The ACC is basically trying to give away their automatic bid. Duke is 4-1 in the conference with a chance to win the conference while being 5-4 overall. SMU, Pitt, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Duke all have one loss in conference. The thing is freaking wild. Miami and Louisville have 2 losses. I mean, who's going to win this thing?
Who cares? They suck. It might be Carolina. Bill Belichick might still be in the running there. I'm not sure.
It's insane, man. It's insane. I'm pulling for Georgia Tech because I'm a Haynes King fan. I
Yeah,
like the kid, so I'm pulling for Georgia Tech. Go Tech.
go get them.
This Saturday, obviously we know Aggies with a big game at home, 11 a.m. kickoff.
Yeah,
Then you got Clemson at Louisville.
take the
Louisville's
over.
Louisville's minus 3.5, 51.5 over under. What do you think, Corey?
Over.
Over.
Over. Easy all day.
How about Clemson, who came into this season, some people picking them to win this thing,
Hey,
and
big win last week. Didn't they beat Florida State? They
they
have a
did.
shot at the ACC title right now.
Florida State, the only team to beat Alabama this year, has not won an ACC game, I don't think.
Yeah,
Or they've won one.
maybe.
Minnesota is at Oregon, minus 24.5, 46.5
No one
over
cares.
under.
Nobody cares about that game.
Nobody cares. How about Wisconsin at Indy? Indy's minus 30.5. Does Wisconsin get their second win of the Big Ten?
No, no. Indy might cover that spread by
Hey,
themselves.
I think this is a good game. Notre Dame at Pitt. Notre Dame's
Maybe.
minus 10.5. Notre Dame's minus ten and a
It's
half.
played pretty good.
Pitt's been playing excellent football lately since
What's
they
the over now? 55 and a half. I might
yeah,
be looking at that over also.
over. Over.
I like it.
Oklahoma's at Bama. Bama's minus 6.5, 46.5 over under. Does Oklahoma stand a chance there, Corey?
Yeah, they do, but give me the under.
I like that too.
How often do I say that?
How about this one? This could be to make it to the ACC championship. Virginia at Duke. Duke is minus 6.5.
I like
57
give me
and a half
Duke.
over under.
I'll take Duke. I'll take Duke right now.
Love it.
Yeah.
How about NC State at Miami? Miami's minus 14.5, 55.5 over under. NC State has already has wins against Virginia, who's number one, and Georgia Tech, who's now number one again in the ACC.
Man, NC State scores a lot of points. I don't know how. I might take NC State.
Are they going to get the third upset of the season in the ACC?
Maybe.
Iowa at USC minus 6.5.
At USC.
49 and a half over under. I'm taking the under.
Oh, yeah. I think Iowa on the road like that. I think USC might be too much. And
Ooh,
Iowa just played a close game against Oregon at home.
defense travels, baby.
I don't know if it does.
How about Florida at Ole Miss? Ole Miss is minus 15 and a half, 54 and a half. I'm calling this the Kiffin Bowl.
It's at Ole Miss.
It's at Ole Miss.
Ah,
And if they beat Florida well enough, Kiffin may decide to stay at Ole Miss.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'd take Ole Miss in that one. I'd tease that down to about 5.5. But after what I saw from Florida last week, they don't look like they want to play football anymore.
No, I would take Ole Miss and I'd take it with the 15 and a half. I don't really care. How about the game of the day? Texas at Georgia. Georgia's minus 6.5, 46 and a half over under.
It's another under I'm looking at. I'd take the under. I still don't believe in this Georgia offense. I don't. I'd probably take Texas. I'd tease
Uh,
that up to 60.5 and take Texas. And yeah, give me Texas.
I'm going to take
No, you don't
Georgia.
want to hear that.
I'm going to take
Huh?
Georgia. I'm going to take Georgia.
Well, get a
Uh,
new website to bet on, bitch.
Questions from the tailgate brought to you by Frida Homes, building Aggie's dreams. Custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in Nebraska Valley. If you're looking for someone that cares about you and the details you care about, contact Frida Homes. Visit them on Instagram at frida.homes or give Justin a call at 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everyone loves their Frida Homes.
I do.
All right. If Kiffin and Elko are staying put, now with Drinkowitz on a losing streak, he's lost 3 or 4. Matt Rule 2-2 in his last 4. Who are the big names in the Florida and LSU coaching searches? Add Penn State to that, and are the fan base is going to be disappointed?
Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed they don't get Lane Kiffin. One of those schools will be. I can't. Lane Kiffin's not staying at Ole Miss.
Lane Kiffin is staying at Ole Miss.
It ain't happening.
I'm calling it right now.
You're wrong.
I'm
Lane
not.
Kiffin will be. The only thing I've heard that makes me think he'll stay is that his whole family's there. Dude, the
Well,
guy's a football coach.
his daughter, his daughter's
That's
dating
all
an,
he
his
knows.
daughter's dating an LSU linebacker, so not his whole family's there.
Well, I'm just saying. He's he's leaving. He's going to one or the other. They're gonna throw too much money at him. And if they don't go, I'll say
By the way, Lincoln Riley has said he's staying at USC. Dillingham says he's staying. Brent Key says he's staying. Like people are dropping off like flies. Obviously we talked about Signetti's already gotten paid. Matt Rule's already got extended too. I mean, like these candidates are not exactly just flocking to these open positions. Who
what's who's the
who's going
coach
to be
at
the
Duke
LSU
right
coach?
now?
Huh?
Who's the Duke coach? Who's the Duke coach again? Diaz.
Manny Diaz.
What has he said anything?
He said he's going to be the next coach at Penn State.
He did.
He didn't say that, but I could see him. I could definitely see him being the choice up there. I mean, if you're Penn
He'll
State,
go to one of the jobs.
if you're Penn State, who else would you prefer, right? I mean, are they going to go back to Vandy for Lee? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to another Vandy coach, right?
Hey, would Florida hire James Franklin?
Man, I think you'd get a disappointed fan base.
When he gets fired by Penn State and LSU, I don't think LSU would hire him either.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to win 10 or 11 games a year either.
I
Well,
think
I
if
can't
I'm
blame him.
Penn State at this point, the guy that I'm probably talking to is Manny Diaz. I mean, I don't know. Even
I
though,
don't know. I mean, I'd still be kicking the tires on Elko if I was him.
yeah, I
I mean,
I
I hate to say that, but it's just reality.
no, I agree with you. You've got to make the run at him. I just don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's leaving. So, who do you
Yeah, I
end
don't
up
think so
with?
either.
And like drinks out there, but I mean, is anybody right now really impressed with drink? I don't think so. So who's a guy that has kept their momentum going, right? I mean, that you got to go small school basically, and even those guys. I mean, the Memphis guy just lost. Tulane's guy lost 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, so like everybody's kind of underperforming. Who ends up being the guy? I mean,
Where at? Which one? Florida, LSU, or Penn State? I'd say who's the quarterback or the coach at James Madison?
yeah, Chesney at James Madison.
Because I mean, look where what's his name came from Indiana.
He came from James Madison.
What I'm saying.
Maybe Penn State follows that up with a hire there in Chesney. And I like that. And I like that pick, right? I mean, I think he's a guy that deserves an opportunity. I think if you're LSU, you've got some guys that, people may not necessarily be thinking about 100%. Maybe a guy like Kelvin Shepard, the Lions defensive coordinator, former LSU linebacker, right?
Yeah,
Is a guy that I think you gotta at least go talk to a little bit. But then, and we've talked about Joe Brady, the guy that used to be their offensive coordinator. Of course, he laid a big fat egg this past week for the Bills, where they only scored 10 points against Miami and got their ass kicked. So, you know,
I can't believe that. How do you lose to the Dolphins? That team sucks.
that team does suck. Uh,
God,
so maybe he's lost. Maybe they performed so poorly because of the fact that they were talking to him about this job instead of him focusing on his last job. How about this? And this is a new development here. How about Brian Dayball?
the
He coached.
Giants ex coach.
He just got fired,
Yeah, what's he?
and
What's his college background?
he coached. He coached at Alabama. He was an offensive coordinator at Alabama for like 2 games or something.
Well, dude, that guy's he made the most of that Giants team because they suck. I mean, talent wise,
He did not make the most of anything. He sucks too as
I
a head
don't think he
coach.
does. I mean, look at the
He's in the NFL.
dude. Look at his skill positions: Jackson Dart, Russell. Why you bring Russell Wilson? That guy's he's done.
I think he
They
had a
should have
say
won
in
that
that.
game last week. Did you watch the Giants game?
Yeah,
They
they
were
should have.
ahead by like 2 touchdowns or something in the second half.
That's why they fired him because he's lost 2 games in which they've led by double figures in like with 4 minutes left. The guy's an
Dude,
idiot.
if he wasn't the coach, then there would have been in the lead in the second half. They should have kept be happy that you got the damn lead.
You gotta be able to win ball games, and he hasn't done that. Period.
Oh, no, give him some talent first. Give him his best wide receivers out for the season. He's
Hey,
got
he's had say in who the talent is. He's had the
how has
say,
he?
you know. So,
He
4 years
I guess he
in,
was
he
like,
hadn't
get
done it.
rid of Saquon, get rid of Saquon.
I
Yeah,
think
let's go.
Golish. I think Golish may get one of these jobs. I don't know.
Who?
Golish, the guy at South Florida. I think I think
I don't know.
I think he may
I
get.
mean, I really don't know. I just want to hear a name come up that I can be like, we can talk about it, about how bad that decision is. Because I mean, there's is there a good decision to make? I mean, it doesn't matter who they pick. Oh, this guy's going to suck.
Look,
You know?
a couple of other names for you here: Glenn Schumann and Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline's an Ohio State guy. He's now the offensive coordinator there, right? I don't know how he fits in down south in the SEC,
Yeah,
but he's got that offense humming with some pretty good weapons. Maybe Penn State's looking at him, right? I don't know. Maybe
maybe.
you also take away from your competition, right? So,
Yeah.
but those are guys that are out there. All right, question
You're
number
not
two.
talking about Clark Lee anymore. Clark Lee staying put.
Man, I think Clark Lee stays put. He says he's good. He's going to stay put. He says he bleeds whatever color it is that Vanderbilt players bleed. I don't know, gold, I guess. I don't
Oh, yeah. All right, go ahead. What's next?
know. Is there anything you can see from the Aggie football team in the next 2 weeks that makes you believe they're going to win it all? So next 2 weeks, meaning not against Texas. I'm talking South Carolina and Sanford. Anything they can do that will prove to you this team is going to go win it all.
No, not me. I mean, I've already seen enough to think they can win it all. They have a best offensive line in the nation. Skill players are playing well. Defense is if the defense can sure up the run, but I don't think it's going to happen against South Carolina or Stanford or Alabama or Texas. I mean, against Texas. None of those teams run the ball or can run the ball, basically. So
I, I,
no,
I fully agree with you. There's nothing they could win these games 50-0, and it doesn't change the fact that I already think they can win a national championship. It doesn't improve those odds, right? I mean, these teams
now
aren't.
if he did they play close against South Carolina or lose, then my whole season's gone. Might lose to Stanford. Just saying.
Corey, that's why I love you, man. Hot takes all day.
I'll jump off the bandwagon in a heartbeat, baby.
I'm pulling people on, and you're trying to throw them off,
I'm
man.
not trying to throw them off, but if they lose, I'm done. I'm gone. Elko's gone. He takes the Penn State job if he loses one of these last three games.
Send them to Penn State. I like
The
it.
way I
Well,
feel.
listen.
We go
First of
11
all,
and
we're,
one,
we're
lose
not
to the
losing.
Longhorns, get rid of them.
We're not losing to South Carolina. Two, even if we do, we're fine. We're gonna go beat the rest of these teams and then go win a national championship anyway. And here we go. So jump on the bandwagon, my man. Jump on.
I'm hanging on.
Giga Maggies, AP, C Money, signing out from the tailgate.